In this video, I'm going to show you how to add integers using vectors on a number line. Vectors have two properties. They have magnitude, a length, and they have direction, which way they're pointing. Vectors have a head and a tail. The tail of the vector is the starting point. The head, also called the tip, is the final ending point of the vector. Numbers can be represented by vectors. The length of the vector, its magnitude, is the same as the magnitude of a number. Remember, the magnitude of a number is its absolute value, which is the distance that number is located away from the origin. Numbers can be represented by vectors. The direction of the vector where it is pointing is determined by the sign of the number. Positive numbers point to the right, increasing on the number line in value. Negative numbers point to the left, decreasing on the number line. Here's an example. Let's represent the number -8 with a vector. The magnitude of -8 is the absolute value of -8, which is 8, so the vector will be 8 units long. The sign of -8 is negative, so the vector will point to the left. Here is the vector for -8. Adding vectors on a number line. First, you're going to place the tail of the first vector on the origin. Place the tail of the second vector at the head or the end of the first vector. The sum, the answer to your addition problem, is the number below the head or the end of the second vector. Here's an example. We're going to model -3 plus 9. -3 is represented by a vector that is 3 units long, pointing to the left. +9 is represented by a vector that is 9 units long, pointing to the right. Here's the model. So we place the first add-end vector, which is my -3, by starting the tail at the 0. The vector is 3 units long, pointing to the left. We start the second add-end vector, which is 9, but we start the tail at the -3, which is the end point of the first vector. This vector points to the right, and it ends at 7. So we look down from the end of the second vector, and we circle the 7. That is the answer to our problem. Here's another example. We're going to model, this time, 3 add-ends. So first we have the -6 vector. We're going to place the tail at 0, and it ends at -6. Now we're going to look at the second add-end, which is +12. This vector will be starting, the tail will start at -6, the ending point of the first vector, and it goes all the way to +6. Now that last vector will start at +6. It's pointing to the left, and it ends at 2. So my answer to this problem is +2. Let's take a look and summarize what we just did. What property of a number will tell you how long to make the vector? That would be the absolute value of the number, the distance the number is away from 0. How do you determine the direction the vector is pointing? Look at the sign. Positive numbers point to the right, and negative numbers point to the left. Example, -3 is negative, so that vector points to the left. And thank you for watching the video.